Harry, what's going on, my man?
Oh man, just another beautiful day in paradise. What's a good word? EK.
Loving it, loving it, loving it. And hello, everybody who's listening in today. It's been a while since me and you recorded just by ourselves without another guest.
I know. I'm feeling like I'm a little out of sync here with you. So I have no idea where this conversation is going to go. I hope I don't screw it up.
Hey, I'll make sure that we edit out all your screw ups, okay?
Oh yeah. Well, I already did with the camera, so the
That
audio
was freaking
should be
funny.
much better than the video.
Are you using the microphone that's built into your laptop, or do you actually have a mic?
The one on my head I'm using, I think, but it could be the one in my laptop. I'm not sure.
All right,
But I'm wearing one for the sake of beauty.
let's stop boring our listeners and talk about some lessons we learned. Typically there are sales lessons we learn from the side of a salesperson. But today we're going to talk a little bit about the right time to really gouge your client from the side of the client.
That's perfect. What a great topic. The right time. When is the right time to gouge your client? Beautiful.
Yeah. And
So, what made you think of that?
all right. So I never buy a new car. My cars, when I buy a car, I like for it to be 3 years old, 2 years old, something like that, just to get the depreciation down. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Maybe I'm just too cheap to go buy a brand new car. But, this was my second BMW 5 Series. It had 120,000 miles on it. I wanted to drive it for a couple more years. And sure enough, I hear a ticking noise, and I took it into my mechanic, and he's like, "Eric, your engine's about to go." And I thought, my mechanic's not really a BMW expert. Let me take it to BMW, get a second opinion, because my guy was saying, we can get you an engine. It'll have 85,000 miles on it, and that engine will run you 10 grand, including labor. We'll put everything in. I'm like, all right, fair deal. The question is, do I want to spend 10 grand on a car that's probably worth 9 by Kelley Blue Book? Or
Mm-hmm.
should I just go and get something new? So I took it to BMW, where I've had it serviced for a very long time. I got the relationship there, and I got it in there Friday morning by 6:30 a.m. At 11 a.m., I get a report. I've never seen anything like this here. I took a shot and I texted it to you. I remember.
It was beautiful. It was a very high number.
Do you remember
But
the number?
I think it was like near $40,000, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, for a car repair.
39,000 and some change for them to replace it with a new engine. Okay. Now, granted, BMW was doing it with BMW parts and BMW engine and their, labor and all that stuff. I get it. But this was quadruple the amount I got for a used engine on a car that really was a 2013 BMW 535. It's not like an M5. It's not like anything super duper fancy. XI. So I told her, I said, well, give me a trade-in quote. Let me know. The car's already in your shop. Let me know, what will you guys give me for a trade-in? I waited. And while I was waiting, I decided to go online just to see, well, what cars are around, what's available that's 2 years old, that's within my budget. And sure enough, I found a 2017 BMW 540xi, the brand new, like a newer version of mine, 20,000 miles on it, for a price that's 5 grand less than any other one like that around with higher miles. It was like a no-brainer. So I clicked on a dealership. I said I'm interested. The saleswoman called me back. We had a conversation. I said, listen, I'll be honest with you. My car's got some issues. It said BMW getting appraised right now. She said, well, we don't really even need to see your car to appraise it. Fill out this form online. I'll email it to you, and I'll tell you what it would be. I said,
Oh,
okay.
my goodness.
She sends me the form within 2 minutes. I fill it out, and within an hour, I get the appraisal back, and it's $10,500 for a car that's Kelley Blue Book in fair condition is like 9 grand.
So they're giving you more value than what you expected for your
Yes,
trade-in.
absolutely. And I'm expecting 5 or 6 at this point.
Okay.
And not only that, but the car that they're selling is 5 grand less than any similar car in the area. Well, like within a 50-mile radius.
Yeah.
I said, okay, this is something pretty cool. I said, well, let me see what BMW comes back with. I wait till 5 p.m.
Where you originally had the car.
where I originally had the car, the BMW
Yeah.
dealership. The woman that I was talking to, this was a Jaguar Land Rover dealership. So I get a call back. I don't even get a call. I get an email saying, congratulations, your car is ready for pickup.
Was it
From
repaired?
BMW.
Did you spend the 40 grand to repair it?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
So
Nobody
it's ready
called
to
me with a
pick
quote.
up. Okay.
My person's gone for the day. The service assistant that I deal with, she was gone. Nobody gave me a quote. And I said, okay. I went, picked it up. They let me drive off their lot with my broken engine. I drove straight to Land Rover. And when I filled out the request for a trade-in, I was very honest because I wanted to see what's the lowest they'll give me. So not super honest where I told them that BMW.
But close enough honest.
Close enough. I said, the engine's making noise. It has mechanical problems. I have dents. I have scratches.
Yeah.
So they came back with that 10.5. So I walked in there and I sit down and the woman already had the car ready. She waited 10 extra minutes for me to, she was getting off at 6 p.m. and I got there at 6:15. She waited for me. Car was outside ready. As soon as I walked in, she said, let me have your keys. We're going to go really appraise it. And you take this for a test drive. I said, okay, I see what they're doing. They want me to go for a test drive while they come back with an appraisal that's like half of what they initially did.
Right. You love the car. There's no way you want to give it up. And oh, by the way, it's going to cost you $5 grand more because they're only giving you 5 instead of 10 on the trade.
Exactly. And you know what? Intentionality, Harry, and setting my intention when I was driving over there, I told myself, I didn't tell her when I got there, but I told myself, I said, if they give me 10.5, I'm buying this car. Anything less, I'm going to feel like it was a bait and switch and I'm leaving for a principle of it.
Yeah.
So that was my mindset.
Okay.
She's already, by the way, she's a salesperson. She wants to make the sale. It's the end of the day. It was the end of the month.
Right.
And she's antsy to make the sale too. So I didn't tell her any of this. So obviously I go for a ride. I love the ride. I come back, wait another 5 minutes. She comes back. She's like, okay, so you're taking it home? I said, what's the appraisal? She said, the appraisal we gave you. I said, you're going to give me 10.5 for that car?
Did you laugh?
No, I said, done deal. Harry, a couple hours later, I drove off there after filling out all the financial forms and all that stuff. I drove off in my new car with 20,000 miles on it.
Oh, my goodness.
Beautiful 2017 BMW 540xi. Nobody called. Next day, at around 12 o'clock, I get a call from the sales manager at the original BMW dealership who had my car. And the guy says, he's like, so, are you going to be trading in? No, he said, I want to talk to you about trading in your car. I said, okay, sure. I said, well, how much are you guys giving me for a trade-in? I just wanted to see what they would say.
Right, because you have a new car already.
I have a new car
in your driveway, right?
Yes.
Nice.
I was in my car, had him on Bluetooth as we were driving to Annapolis to go enjoy the day with my family.
Okay, so you're in your new car.
Yes.
You're asking how much you're going to give me on my old car, which, by the way, is sitting at a Jaguar dealership right now.
Yeah, probably be.
Okay, great.
Hold off to
I see how you work.
Well, I just wanted to see it because I was so coming from my sales background, training salespeople. I could not believe that nobody called me. Like, that's such a hot lead. You have somebody's car that's the engine's getting ready to blow in your dealership for a whole day, and not one salesperson reached out to say, hey, I'm a sales consultant here. This must be really frustrating for you. I'm going to try to see what we can do. I know this is an unexpected expense for you. Let me see what I can do to really get you a great deal so you don't have to drive that old car out of here. Nothing. Nobody called. Nobody gave me an appraisal. So next day, this guy calls me and he's like, well, and he's really cocky at this point, or maybe this is what.
This is about 24 hours, right? After
I knew that my car engine needed to be, after the $40,000 quote, it was, this is when I got the call.
Yeah. Okay, great.
And I said, so what are you guys going to give me for my car? He said, well, it's really not worth anything. I mean, you saw the engine needs to be replaced, but I could probably give you $1,500. I said, oh, okay. He said, so did you want to come back in and take a look at other options? Like he assumed that I was going to buy from him.
Yeah.
And I was like, my blood pressure went up a little bit. Heart
Yeah.
started pounding. I said, you know what? I don't understand. I don't understand how you guys can have a guy like me with a car that's broken in your shop. And number one, you let me drive off. And number two, you're the first salesperson I'm talking to 24 hours later. So last night when I drove off and I picked up my car, I went and bought a new car. And then there was this awkward pause. And he says, oh, well, congratulations on your new car.
Oh, man.
What did you get?
Yeah.
Now, mind you, they're a BMW dealership. I told him I got a 2017 BMW 540 Xi. And not an apology, not nothing. It was like, hey, man, enjoy your ride. Congrats. Have a great day. Click.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You're right.
So I think we started talking about this and wanted to do this episode for you guys because a lot of you are in sales. And you got to understand, people are going to buy emotionally. They have to justify it logically. But I think as authentic salespeople, we have a duty to not only think about the deal that's at hand where you can gouge somebody right now, but to think about a relationship that's going to evolve long term. If you're in car sales, think about really treating this person right so they tell their family, tell their friends about how awesome you were. Because now I'm going to do Google reviews for the salesperson because I was really impressed by her. What do you think of that, Harry?
Yeah, I'm just still shaking my head at all the things that went wrong with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here is a dealership in sales. They know it's the end of the month. They got to be all over every opportunity. And I have a dog in the background. Sorry about that. They want to be all over every opportunity. And there's one that hit them right in the forehead. And it took them a day. At the end of the month, right? Someone should have made the call and gotten your feeling. It's like, hey, we just sent you this massive quote for repairs. There's other options. I wanted to see what you're thinking. Is there any way we can be of service to you other than, charging you 40 grand for a 70-year-old car? Yeah, that would be one thing. The second thing that comes to mind is just you said the cockiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever someone is cocky in sales, I would think that everybody would walk away and just look for option B, right? Who is able to be cocky in sales anymore and expect that someone's not going to go use the internet and find someone else that sells the same thing? That to me is just crazy.
I think they assume that just because you're in a hard spot, they're your only option, but they didn't even position themselves that way.
Yeah.
They probably could have if they got to me 24 hours earlier, but they didn't. And they let a customer walk away. I always wonder how car salespeople, now I've never sold cars. I always wonder how a car salesperson lets somebody go off the lot without buying their car. And let me explain to you why. Maybe this is me being cocky. But to me, and obviously I'm a high I, high D, so I hate test driving 17 different cars and shopping and all that stuff. I usually figure out the car that I want. I know what I like, and I'll find one online based on price. And when I come to you, I already know what I want to spend. I know the cars I like. Like, I don't want to waste any time dicking around with you. I want to drive it, make sure it feels good. I like the accessories. I like the look and feel, and that's it.
You're a man that knows what he wants.
I'm a man that knows what I want. I might choose between, like last time, it was between a Audi A7 and a BMW 535, and I chose the BMW because I didn't like the Audi's hatchback, right? But they're kind of in the same class. I know what I want. Pricing was similar. I don't understand how somebody cannot close that. Here's a willing, able buyer who doesn't want to waste any time. You really got to mess up and play stupid games for me to walk away at this point. And I'm the easiest person to sell to because I just love salespeople.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there was a lot I think that went wrong with this. The cockiness definitely did not help, and it was an assumption. They assumed that I was going to do business with them, and I would not put it past some crazy sales psychology that said, "Hey, if you let this guy ruminate on his broken car and his $40,000 bill for 12 hours, he'll be even more anxious the next day." And it's a far, it's a far stretch. I'm just kind of assuming that's what happened, or I wouldn't put it past them for happening. Um, let's let him sit on it and then call him in 24 hours when he's really stressed out and get him. Because I'm
Yeah, I
definitely
think that's actually a lot more common than we would think. I mean, I know in the industry of office technology, similar things happen. I mean, I've always had a mindset to fix the problem in front of the client first, the problem that they're facing before you ask for another sale, right? So in
What
your
do you do if
case,
that sale fixes their problem?
well, if the sale doesn't, maybe so the example I'm thinking is someone has old technology and it's difficult to get parts. It's not uncommon for reps to tell the service department to sit tight because we really got to force this client to make a decision.
Mm-hmm.
Well, back in the day before the internet, that might have been easier to do. But now it's like if someone's looking at the stuff that's in their office and they're viewing it as a boat anchor and I can't use it and my current company is not helping me and today I need it, what am I going to do as a semi-intelligent person?
Shop.
Right? I'm going to shop. I'm going to use the internet search engine called Google and say office copier printer near me. And I will get a whole bunch of people that want to come solve my problem.
You probably
Because
don't even need to do that, Harry, because every buyer that's buying that stuff has 7 other cards on their desk.
exactly right. Yes. Um, so that is definitely one thing I could do. And then the rep, they're playing the cards, basically saying, I've got 3 queens in my hand because I know that person's going to buy from me. I'm just going to make them feel some pain. Well, that same client may have 1 queen and 4 kings, right? Or 3 kings. It doesn't, they just outplayed you. So you're really taking a risk these days. I think if you're in that old school technique of thinking that people are just not going to shop, because even loyal clients still periodically shop, and more so now in this day where the economy is less certain because of COVID. Um, People are not going to spend lavishly like they did before,
Yeah.
right? So they're going to be wiser with their decision making.
Uh,
So kudos to you for, not just being stuck in someone else's little spider web that they were weaving for you and said, we're really going to get this guy and we're going to offer him, you know, 80% less or more than 80% less on the trade-in value than someone else would offer.
yeah, that was insane.
So,
Which was probably, you know what? I think 4 or 5 grand would have been a reasonable offer.
yeah, I mean,
They
but they
just didn't want
started
the
low,
business. They
right? So
started so
again,
low.
old school sales. Let me start with a ridiculous offer and see if the client bites.
I do think there's a place for taking risks as a salesperson, but it's not with trying to gouge and get the best deal for yourself. I think the place for taking risks is if your customer is used to, or this potential client is used to a certain way of doing things, but there's a better way for them that they haven't even thought about. There's a different product, a different segment, a different way for them to do business. And you're the one that brings that to the table. We understand that they're probably going to choose the path of least resistance and go with the devil they know and do it how they've always done it. So that's the kind of risk that we should be taking as, salespeople who are also innovators who have their best interest in mind, but not like the scenario that Harry described where you have this card and you think sales is a game. I think sales is no longer a game
Yeah.
because they really don't need you.
Yeah.
They don't. There's so many options. I'm the type of guy that I will never only have one option. I know I made a decision a long time ago that there's always more than one option.
True.
So when somebody says this is your only option, I already, like, mentally I'm programmed to know that no, that's not.
Right.
And
Yes.
before, I'm a chess player. I like to understand some options. So I knew in this case, I literally had 4 options. And that guy thought I only had one. My options were pay 10 grand to get my car fixed, which I could have done. The second option was uh, just sell this car, trade it in. There are places that would give you a couple of grand for junk cars, and not get a new car, because I'm in the middle of a move anyway. I'm trying to figure out how to move 2 vehicles and a
Sure.
motorcycle, and not get a car at all. 3, get a car from them, and 4, there's a bunch of other cars.
Yeah.
So I had options when I got there. They didn't know that. They didn't understand me. They didn't ask me anything. They assumed.
They didn't ask you what your options were.
They didn't ask me anything.
Yeah. What are you thinking? You're looking at this bill. What's your thought? What's the first thought going through your mind? Maybe we can help you one way or another.
I would have said, Eric, this bill is so ridiculous, I can't even send it to you.
Yeah.
You got to come in here, either
right.
come get your car, or let us talk to you. But it's like, it's almost as equivalent to somebody close to you getting hurt and they can't tell you over the phone. It's like, sir, we really need you to come in.
Right. For sure. Absolutely. If they really cared.
They emailed me a $40,000 proposal.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go, folks. Don't email a proposal without walking the client through it.
Yeah.
Right.
Preferably face to face.
That would have been,
sure.
Yeah, that would have been another thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. By the way, if you have not yet done so, join our Lead Sell Grow Business Coaching for Success community on Facebook. We're on LinkedIn. Harry Spaight, Eric Konovalov. We'd love to hear from you. Love to connect with you. And we'd love to hear stories where somebody either tried to gouge you and how you handled it, or where you've seen other salespeople do that. Always good to learn from one another. And with that said, we wish you happy selling and a great day ahead.
So when is the right time to gouge? Never.
Bye, everybody.
Great.